Hello everyone, welcome, my name is Viren, and today we're here to talk about a certain feature in the game that I personally think has no place in the game. It used to have a place in the game when scaling was not a thing, but now I feel like on top of scaling, it's a little bit too much for us players, especially when we make a mistake. It's kind of unforgiving. By the way guys, this is Cradle. It was a solo random queue. How long did it take? I think it took about 15 minutes to queue in, which isn't bad for a trial. I guess making the randoms give Battle Pass XP has worked, so I take back anything that I said. It seems like it's worked. But anyway, let's discuss the topic at hand. And you're going to see in this run what I am actually talking about. So, as we have scaled, we're not doing much damage. Our base damage is significantly lower, and there is a lot more yellow numbers than there usually is. So as you can see, we are at the minute killing the tentacles, and we are also gonna die by a huge AoE that I feel that I can survive. As I did there, I try to do it again, and I end up dying. Now when I end up dying, I end up picking myself up with a scroll of life. However, when I use that scroll of life, if you look under my name at the top left, you will notice a little symbol. That is Revive Sickness, and that is the topic that I want to talk about today. So in my opinion, Revive Sickness should not be in this game. We are already significantly weaker, we are already scaled. So why weaken us even more? Now Revive Sickness did have a place when scaling wasn't a thing. It was a way of punishing people by taking away their DPS. It was basically a punishment if you didn't learn the mechanics, and yeah, you basically just got nerfed into the ground. You can get 5 Revive Sicknesses, that's how it always has been, and each one significantly lowers the damage output and also lowers your damage mitigation, whatever defense stats you've got, etc, etc. Now as you can see, I have gone down once, which means I have got 1 Revive Sickness. And the fact that I am scaled, lowering my damage output, and also I have gone down, which was my own fault. Do I deserve to be punished on top of scaling though? I would say no. And that goes for anyone who ends up dying in some sort of dungeon and gets that Revive Sickness. We are already scaled, why should Revive Sickness be in the game? It's so unforgiving that even if the game glitches and it doesn't show any sort of red or any sort of mechanic, as it did in Hardcore Boss, we were doing the second main boss, and you have to actually get behind him because the area of effect he doesn't really show up. It shows 2 lines of red, but really it's a whole, like 3/4 of a circle, and you have to stand directly behind him. So is that anyone's fault if they go down, if they didn't know to stand directly behind him? Should you have Revive Sickness? I know in Hardcore Boss you don't, it's just a wipe and you have to restart, but normal boss it happens the same exact thing. The red doesn't fully show, and anyone who's never been in there before will not know where to stand. They'll just think, oh, I need to avoid red, and they'll stand in the wrong place, and then they'll go down, they'll die, and then they'll get Revive Sickness, lowering their DPS. So, as you can see in this run, it's a random queue, as I've said, and we are essentially just killing the baby. Now look at how many yellow numbers you see, and they're not even high numbers. And why is that? Because we have a Revive Sickness on top of scaling. Now as I've said previously, the Revive Sickness feature, it had a place in the game before, when scaling was not in the game, and the reason is because it was a way of getting people to learn mechanics. If you do not learn mechanics and you go down, you will essentially be weaker. But we are already scaled, though why should we be weaker if for whatever reason the game bugs out, for example? Now, in terms of these Revive Sicknesses that I get, fully my fault, because I thought I could survive, but I'm a squishy rogue, so again, fully my fault. But I don't think, in a random queue, I don't think that I deserve to be weakened on top of being nerfed into the ground by scaling. I feel like if you're going to keep scaling into the game, which you just know they are, I mean, I know I've said previously that they are listening to the community, but when it comes to scaling, they are not going to listen to the community. No one wants it in the game, but that's just about it. No one wants it in the game. The developers keeping it in the game, fine. But you cannot have revive sickness in the game. It has no place. It made sense back in the day. It doesn't make sense now. We are significantly lower, and as you can see, I think my single targets aren't even doing that much damage. Let me see if I can find one of the numbers. Looking. No, he's gone down again. But let me know what you think on this topic, guys. So, as we kill this mini boss here, you can see the numbers are flying up, which are basically from my at-wills. And we're gonna... I think I'm doing about 80k on my single target abilities. 80k. Now, in non-scale content, them single target abilities reach 600k? Something like that. But we are now scaled, and we got 2 revive sicknesses, and now we're doing 80k, which is why this boss fight took so long, and everyone has death stacks. Now you're going to see the final scoreboard at the end, and just keep in mind that I had 2 revive sicknesses. I had 1 at the tentacle phase, and I got the other in the final boss fight, but I am still managing to be out on top. Now, I didn't think this was going to succeed because of how long it was taking to kill the boss, but it is what it is. It succeeded. Even so, once you go down and you get that revive sickness, you become even more squishier than what my rogue already is. Which means it's quite possible that you could die again. And again, and all them sicknesses stack, you get weaker in how much damage you can take, you get weaker in how much damage you put out. But let me know what your thoughts on this topic are. Do you think revive sickness has a place in the game? As I said, I think it needs to be taken out if scaling is staying, but leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, and you want to make your way back to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.